If you want to hit on real this season, you need these tips and tricks, right? First one is a splash peek. This was developed by a pro player, literally a genuine pro player that I've 1v1 against once or twice, 3 times maybe, right? And he basically did this to me, right? And I was like Flaker right now. I have right in peek like this, stupid. Even if you're in the corner, right? Even if Flaker was in this corner here, right? I would still be able to shoot him doing the splash peek. The splash peek always counters the right and peek from this angle, right? I could do this. This is also allowing me to take the wall much easier, right? As if this wall was reset, I could take it. But, right, I can crack Flaker from literally just doing splash peek. And can Flaker hit me back? Try and hit me. Yeah, because he's already dead, right? So if you're not utilising this on the drones who edit like this, thinking that you won't be able to hit them and doing splash peek on them, then you are literally going to suffer. Your rank is probably going to be a few percent lower, right? Just from that. And I've got multiple of these to show you. The next trick is actually the cranking, right? If you don't know what sprint 90s are by now and you're not doing them, then you're losing out. Especially this season now. This season, the sprinting has actually been, with the new movement changes, the sprinting is faster, right? And if you're not sprint 19, you are going to lose out. Because you can get height so unbelievably fast. I'm even messing up. It's hard to do because of how fast it is, right? But if you... How high was that? This would have been the record 90 a year ago. Like, that would have been the record 90s a year ago. Right, the sprint 90s are so unbelievably fast. If you're not doing them already, you will literally not going to get height. That's how fast it is. Look how high Flake is going, right? And that's one sprint bar to full height that fast, flat out, 4 seconds, and is up there, right? The next tip is actually a very interesting tip because it involves mantling. So basically, if Flake is underneath me, right, and Flake is, say, whatever Flake is doing, nobody knows, right? Say he's like trying to like play with the frogs in Fortnite, right? And he's underneath me. Like, I can literally shoot him, right? Say he's doing this, right? And I know where he is. Roughly, I can literally shoot him, right? He's gonna try and shoot me as well, but he's already dead, right? If people don't expect you to do this, if you've not already done it 5 times and failed, people aren't gonna predict it, right? It's impossible to predict. I've never seen anybody predict it, and I do it often, right? If you do this, this is already like another 20% in your ranks, right? You've already gained another 20% for mastering this, right? Another 20% closer to Unreal. So already we've gained about, let's just say, roughly 60 to 40% from just doing these tricks, like getting kills and that. The next trick is actually... Uh-oh. The next trick is actually very interesting. So it's actually a trick to phase in. Obviously Flaker is the master of this. His practices in creative more than me. So he's going to try and phase it into my box, right? Look, he will probably do this first try, right? With the new movement speed, it is slightly harder. So, right? But he will be able to literally phase into my box, right? And trust me when I say, in laggier lobbies, trust me, in laggier lobbies, yeah, he can do it pretty much consistently now. But in laggier lobbies, it is impossible to counter. It is literally, you cannot counter it. Because you can hold the wall, right? And because of the ping delay and shit, he's got 50 milliseconds to phase into your box, right? And he does it every time. In creative, remember guys, I am like near 0 ping. So like, right now, I'll try it on him. Right, if I just shotgun the wall or something, right, and I'm in, right, you can also jump. It's a great way to phase into your box, right? Another one is actually phasing in basically like this. I'll show you, right? So if Flaker boxes up, I'm like, you can do this with the splash peek too, kind of, right? So you're doing the splash peek on this guy, right? Shout out to Splash for the splash peek, obviously, a literal pro player. That's why it's just, yeah, that's why. And basically, I'm like this, right? And I've done this to people before. It does work in laggy lobbies. Right, you need to try and have the wall. Right? It does work in laggy lobbies if I do this. And I have actually, in the past, managed to get into people's boxes. Obviously, in creative, it probably won't work with the movement and stuff. But that does work. Another one is actually very, very interesting. So if we're in a box fight, let's just say we're in a big box fight over here, right? And at box stop, right? Oh my god, Flaker is like crazy, right? He's like, you do that, and then Flaker does a right and peek, and then I'm in Flaker's box, like that. You literally run in the corner, so you need to try and pre-fire it. You need to make it look, because good players will know that you're going to try and run into the corner and get in, right? So what Flaker's going to do, he's going to make it look like, he's going to move all around like a crazy ant or something, right? He's going to do this, right? But always like kind of like near this, so when I edit, it will kind of phase into, like, even if I'm doing the peak properly, do the peak properly and everything, literally try and shoot me, right? And he goes, okay. Well, obviously, like, if you're not expecting that, right, in that dangerous scenario when you're in the building trying to get Pete Griffin's medallion or some shit, and you like this, and then someone edits like this, and you're in the box, right, and you've got the right and peak on them, and then they have a left and peak on you. You've changed their right and peak into a left and peak, and you've got the advantage, right? That's one of the best things to do in the game. Alright, so obviously, I'm going to go over a really, really quick recap. So obviously, there's the splash peak, right? Bang, they right and peak, they're dead. Then we've got the sprint 90s, right? You can also do the super jump with sprint 90s. I forgot that variation. That's actually faster variation doing the super jump. Well, like this, with this, then into sprint 90s. That's a faster variation. Then we've got the mantling, right? So you come down here, shoot, right? And then we've got some of the phasing tricks. Harder to do in creative, that's why it's harder to show, right? Obviously. But then, yeah, like the phasing trick. And then we've got the probably a very, very, very useful trick, running into the corner, right? So I'm going to run into the corner, right? I don't have to jump over. I've shown people this before, and they try and jump over into this and they're like dying, right? Just literally, if he resets the wall, look, and then he edits, and I'm in, right? And it's just that quick. Genuinely, it's that quick. They're not, especially if the player's not expecting it, they will die. So thank you guys. Hopefully this will help you in ranked. I'm 99% sure that you will gain at least 50% in total from your entire ranked experience from just implementing these tricks. If you master them, you will probably be 10 times of a better player. And thanks for watching.